And hello again, everybody. It is Drew White with another episode of This Week in LaPorte County. And folks, it is race week in Michigan City. Along with me is the race director for the Great Lakes Grand Prix, Scott Miller. Scott, showtime, baby.
Oh, I can't believe back in January we were saying it's going to come up on us quick, and boy, did it. We're here, we're ready to go.
Yeah. And I know that, the thing that people need to realize, we talk about this with Terry all the time, we talk about this with Eric, the things that you guys put together, and this obviously being the big tamale it is, you didn't start planning this back in June. This is a year-round thing to get what we have here in Michigan City ready to go for this coming week.
Yeah, bigger picture, we planned for this weekend 15 years ago when we started doing this, and we made it bigger, better. I think we have 15, 16 boats that year, and I think this year we're knocking on around 70. So this will be the biggest event that we've had so far as far as the race goes. So I'm excited to get all the teams here and watch the beach fill up Saturday and Sunday.
And again, you talk about 15 years ago, and it was only, a 2-day event, 3-day event. We're at the point where when we say it's race week, it is race week. The events start on Monday.
Yeah, this will be our first literal race week. We've got community appreciation night at Burnham Brewery from 6 to 8. We're going to have the police department, the EMTs, fire department, EMA, park department, all the entities that help us put this together, because without them we don't have a race. So we're going to throw them a party at Burnham Brewery Monday, and we hit the ground running on Tuesday.
And speaking of people that, make these things possible, the race this year, as in the past 2 years, I believe, sponsored by X Insurance, title sponsor of the Great Lakes Grand Prix.
Yeah, very, very proud to have X Insurance on board. We want to, say thank you to NIPSCO, who's been with us from day one with this race. We talk about 15 years. They've been with us every year, and we appreciate X Insurance and NIPSCO being a part of it.
You have the community get-together on Monday. You have the Logan's Run on Tuesday. The golf outing on Wednesday. Fortunately, I think the golf outing is one of those things that in order to participate in it, you kind of have to have already gotten your teams in and everything like that. But that's one of those things that in future years, if you are interested in participating in the golf outing, you want to make sure that you get in touch with Scott and Brett at the Convention and Visitors Bureau ahead of time in order to be able to participate in that. But you got golf on Wednesday, and then Thursday you have, I believe, the ribbon cutting. Yep. And there's no shortage of things to do over the next 7 days here in Michigan City. No,
Friday we do, we're having a Brew Fest down at the VIP tent. That'll be the first for that as well. The vendors will open up on Friday too, so there'll be food down there. Tickets are still available for the Brew Fest, I believe. And then Saturday we do racing. We've added a flyover this year, so we'll have a flyover Saturday and Sunday right after the national anthem. We're also having a flyover for the block party, which will be Saturday as well. The block party is unmissable. The parade, I've said it a million times, the racers that have always come for the first year, they come up and they turn that corner off of 9th onto Franklin, and it's just wall-to-wall people. So if you're going to come to the block party, you'll have plenty to do until the parade starts, and I'm excited. Like I said, we're going to have boats lined up after the parade so folks can meet the race teams and take pictures with the boats. And then Sunday we're right back at it again for one more day of racing, starting at 10:30 in the morning until about 4:30 that afternoon.
And it's one of those things that over the years we've changed governing bodies and different entities, but for the casual observers here in Michigan City, they don't really notice a difference. There are boats out there racing, and this year the big boys are coming to Michigan City and going to see a lot of fast boats. But as you indicated, one of the big audience participation nights, I really think that Saturday night is really the big night that we need you guys out there watching that boat parade, because those racers are thinking about that event all year round just waiting to come to Michigan City for it.
Right. I don't know what these teams are more excited for, the actual getting out on the water and racing or interacting with the huge crowd that comes down for the parade.
One change this year, we do want to thank RWO, which is the organization behind this year's Great Lakes Grand Prix. We will be on Channel 97 sharing the live feed of the races on Saturday and Sunday, so that those of you that are at home can't get out to the beach in order to see the races, not only will you be able to go on YouTube and we'll have a shot of the race course so where you can see a little bit of it, but the RWO live stream will be available on Access Port County Channel 97 on Comcast cable. So, and then also on our Facebook page, we're going to make sure that we provide you with a link to their live cast, so that if you want to watch it on your phone, tablet, you're able to do that. But you will have a way of being able to watch the races on Channel 97 and on the RWO live stream coming up this week. But Scott, we record this on Friday beforehand, but you better get yourself a good night's sleep tonight, because there's not going to be a whole lot of sleep over the next 7 days.
Absolutely not, but for a good cause. One thing I do want to mention, though, Drew, is we did make a change this year. The boats will be parking in the zoo parking lot as well, so that parking won't be accessible to the public. But we've added some extra bus shuttles from Blue Chip down to the beach area, and we've brought on some extra golf carts. So if folks need some help getting from the stop down by the zoo down to the beach, flag one of the golf carts down. We'll be more than happy to help out with that. And the shuttles will also run from the block party to the beach to Blue Chip. So we've added those stops. Well, they've always been there, but the stops will be there for anybody that needs parking assistance to get to the block party. So with the anticipation of as many boats as what we've kind of hoped for, I think we've made the accommodations that we need for the crowds that we're expecting. But absolutely, rest is first and foremost.
And definitely, and definitely take advantage of that shuttle. Again, parking is at Blue Chip, but that shuttle, very convenient, will drop you off right there in the heart of Washington Park. And Scott and his team and everybody down at the beach will be more than willing to help you in any way that they can. But we're looking for big crowds, good weather, and just a tremendous atmosphere here in Michigan City over the next 7 days. So once again, the Great Lakes Grand Prix brought to you by X Insurance, coming up this July 28th through August 30th, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Keep your eyes on Access Port County. We will try and keep you up to date on all of the happenings after this interview. We will have slides with all of the details that you need to know. Make sure you go to GreatLakesGrandPrix.com. That's where you'll be able to find all the information for the races. But Scott, I want to thank you for stopping by and sharing some info. And we will see you out at the races. Until next time, I'm Drew White.